Hello students, welcome to RD Chemistry. In this video, I will discuss previous year questions in the chapter Surface Chemistry. Question number 1. The stability of a lyophobic colloid is due to. Now, the stability of the colloid depends on the two factors. One is the charge on the particles and second is the solvation of the particles. Here, they are given lyophobic colloid and lyophobic colloids are less stable compared to that of the lyophilic, and the answer is option number 3, the charge on the particles here, that is the colloidal particles. Okay. Question number 2. Which of the following cations will have minimum flocculation value for arsenic sulfide salt? Now, minimum flocculation value means the minimum amount of the cation required for the coagulation. Now, we have got one rule known as the Hardy-Schulze rule. According to Hardy-Schulze rule, larger the valency of the ion, better is the coagulating agent. So, therefore, among all these cations, aluminum 3 plus has the highest charge. Therefore, this is a better coagulating agent and required the minimum amount. Okay, so the answer is option number 4. Question number 3. Adsorption theory is applicable for. Now, in case of adsorption, we have got a solid surface on which the adsorption take place. The gas molecules or liquid molecule can come and absorb on it. So, there are two different physical states are there, and therefore answer is it's a heterogeneous catalysis. So, adsorption theory for heterogeneous catalysis. Question number 4. In the Friedlich isotherm graph, log x by m is plotted against the log p. The slope and its y-axis intercept respectively correspond to. According to Friedlich adsorption isotherm, we have got x by m is equal to constant k into p to the power 1 by n. If you are going for the log on both the sides, we'll get log x by m is equal to log k, a constant, plus 1 by n log p. This is of the equation of the straight line. So y is equal to m, the slope, which is the 1 by n, mx plus c. So y is variable, x by m is variable, log x by m is also variable. Okay. Then pressure P we have got x on the x-axis. Suppose I plot this. Okay. So y-axis we have got log x by n, and along the x-axis we have got pressure term, that is in terms of log p. We are going to get a straight line, but this straight line will cut the y-axis. Therefore, we have got intercept. The intercept is equal to log k, and the slope of this is equal to m, which is equal to 1 by n. Okay. Therefore, answer is option number 3, 1 by n and log k respectively. Question number 5. Gold is not. So, first option given is a macromolecular solid. Macromolecular solid for macromolecules like we have got starch, cellulose or polymers. Cellulose and polymer. For these types we have got macromolecular colloids. So, gold is not macromolecular. So, gold is actually multimolecular colloid. Okay. And it is a lyophobic colloid and is a negatively charged colloid. Therefore, the answer is option number A, that is a gold is not macromolecular colloid. Question number 6. The electrolyte having maximum flocculation value for silver iodide adsorbing silver ions. Now here the charge on this colloid is positive, so this is a positive colloid. So whenever positive colloid is there, to coagulate that we require negative ions, that is they require anions here. Okay. Now anions given here, it is a sulfate SO4 charge is 2 minus, chloride Cl minus 1, phosphate PO4 3 minus, and sulfide 2 minus. The given question is the maximum flocculation value. Maximum flocculation value means maximum amount of that electrolyte is required. That means it should be a least coagulating power. It should have the least coagulating power. According to Hardy-Schulze rule. According to Hardy-Schulze rule, Larger the valency, better is the coagulating agent and less amount is required. If the charge is less, for example, in the case of Cl minus, charge is less in the anion compared to other anion, therefore this is required in maximum amount. So it is having maximum flocculation value. So the answer is option number 2, sodium chloride here. Okay. Question number 7. Which of the following curve is in accordance with the Freundlich adsorption isotherm? In the previous question we have to plot the log x by m versus the log p. We are going to get a straight line, but the straight line will cut the y-axis. The intercept we are going to get, the intercept was log k, correct? Right? So the answer is option number 1, right? So this is the graph we are going to get. Okay. Question number 8. Which of the following colloids cannot be easily coagulated? Answer is option number 1. Macromolecular colloids like starch colloid, polymeric colloids. They cannot be easily coagulated on addition of the electrolytes. Okay. Question number 9. Sulfur salt contains. Sulfur is a S8 molecule. If I take S8 molecules, so it is a large aggregate. To form colloid, there should be aggregate, large aggregates of the sulfur molecules. Option number 1 is the answer. Question number 10. Reactions in zeolite catalyst. Zeolites have got honeycomb-like structure. There are cavities, there are pores, or there are also the apertures. Okay. So the answer is all of these. Fourth one is the answer. Question number 11. Which of the following statement is incorrect with respect to physics option? Under high pressure, it results into multimolecular layer adsorption surface, which is true actually, because as the pressure increases, more and more molecules are getting accumulated on the solid surface, leads to the multimolecular. This is the correct statement. We have to find out the incorrect statement. Now, the force involved are van der Waals force attraction. Between the two molecules, there is a van der Waals force of attraction that is also present in case of physics option. And third option is the delta H adsorption. Enthalpy adsorption is low and positive. Now, adsorption is always a exothermic process. It's always exothermic process, and delta H is always a negative quantity and got less low value, but not a positive value. So therefore, option number 3 is the incorrect statement. So answer is option number 3. Okay. Option number 4, more easily liquefied gas are adsorbed easily. That is also correct statement. So the answer for this question is option number 3. Okay. Question number 12. Which of the following is not favorable condition for physical adsorption? Answer here is option number 2, high temperature. As the temperature increases, what will happen? The van der Waals attraction between the two molecules or molecule and the solid surface decreases. So they will start going away from each other. Therefore, as the temperature increases, physics option decreases. Answer is option number 2. Whereas the remaining factors will favor the physical adsorption. Question number 13. Hydrogenation of vegetable oils in the presence of finely divided nickel catalyst. The reaction is, okay. Vegetable oil is a liquid form and nickel catalyst is a solid form. The reactant and the catalyst are in different phases. Therefore, the answer is option number 1, heterogeneous catalysis. Question number 14. The process which is responsible for the formation of delta at a place where river meet the sea. River contains negatively charged muddy particles. Mud particles are there. Now when they comes in contact with sea, sea contains electrolytes like sodium chloride, calcium chloride. What will happen? These negatively charged colloidal particles are neutralized by the sodium ions and the calcium ions. Therefore, what will happen? Coagulation takes place, precipitation takes place. Therefore, answer is option number 4. Question number 15. Which of the following is an example of homogeneous catalysis? What is homogeneous catalysis? Homogeneous catalysis means the reactant and the catalytic are in the same physical state. In case of first option, oxidation sulfur, sulfur dioxide reacts with the oxygen to give sulfur trioxide, right? So sulfur dioxide is a gas, oxygen is also a gas, and here in the lead chamber process we are going to make use of nitric oxide as the gaseous catalyst. So reactants and the catalyst are the same physical state. Therefore, it is a homogeneous. Answer is the first one. In other cases, it is a heterogeneous. In case of ammonia, ammonia is prepared from nitrogen gas and the hydrogen gas. Both are gases here, and you have to make use of the iron oxide as the catalyst. So, iron oxide in the form of solid state, nitrogen gas are the gaseous state. So, different physical states are there. Therefore, it is a heterogeneous system. Heterogeneous. If we go for a third option, oxidation of the ammonia by Ozol process, ammonia is oxidized, okay, to give the nitric oxide and the water H2O. Ammonia gaseous substance you are taking, oxygen also gaseous substance you are taking, and here we make use of the either rhodium catalyst or platinum catalyst, which is a solid. So this is also the heterogeneous system. We go for option number 4. Oxidation of sulfur dioxide contact process. Sulfur dioxide, the gas, is oxidized by oxygen, which is also a gas, to give sulfur trioxide. Here we make the vanadium pentoxide. Vanadium pentoxide is a solid, therefore it is also the heterogeneous system. Answer for this question is option number 1. Question number 16. Critical missile concentration, CMC. Critical missile concentration is given 1.5 into 10 power minus 4 mole per liter they are mentioned. Now, the missile formation is possible only when the concentration of the soap solution in mole per liter is. If this is the critical missile concentration, then the concentration of soap solution must be greater than concentration of the soap solution must be greater than this. Okay. So among the available option, answer is option number 3. This number is more than that of the CMC. Okay. And rest numbers are less than that because 10 power minus 5 means lower values. Okay. And 10 power minus 4 also lower values. Clear? So therefore answer is option number 3. Thank you for watching.